Welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome Changemaker. My name is Kyra Siva. I am a spiritual healer and mentor, and today we are going to talk about how your imposter syndrome is lying to you. This was a request in the comments, so thank you so much for requesting this, and I am so excited to be sharing it with you. If you too have different pick a card readings that you would love to hear, leave me a comment below and I would love to do them for you. All right, let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Pile number 1. All right, this is how is your imposter syndrome lying to you? Pile number 1, if I were to just look at your cards, the whole essence of this is that you are an incredibly well-developed person. You are fully in your empowerment. You're strong, you're courageous, you have an incredible voice, you have incredible emotional intelligence skills, and you lead life from an inspired place. And that kind of a person naturally shines in the world. And we can see over here, and if we look at her heart, it's just like radiating love, radiating light. Pile number 1, your imposter syndrome is lying to you, making you believe that none of this is true about yourself, that you are a disempowered person, that your voice doesn't matter, it doesn't count, it's not important, and it can't make a difference. It is telling you that even though you try to have actions in the world, those actions have no impact. There's no fruition to it. It also is telling you that you are too immature. You're too afraid of responsibility, of stepping in and owning the next space and phase of your life. We see over here in the guide card, this guide card is actually a lot about, like the meaning behind it is a lot about inner child and living from a very innocent and playful and carefree existence. What your imposter syndrome is really telling you is that you are too grounded, like that you're too childish, you're too irresponsible to really own a masterful space. You've had to go through these experiences where you were on the cusp of experiencing your greatness, and the imposter syndrome kicked in. It made you feel all kinds of things, including very nervous, and so you stopped. You kept taking detour after detour after detour, self-sabotage, self-sabotage, self-sabotage. You've courageously gotten back up every single time. You've courageously gotten back up. You have said, okay, well, maybe that was just the divine redirecting me. Okay, that was just this. And you've gone to do the next step and learn the next thing and grow in the next way. Because ultimately, you have really, really been trying for this. This card is rebirth, but it's really stepping into discomfort, stepping into the new space of the more empowered, powerful version of who you are. When that happens, as you get closer and closer and closer, the core belief here that is, I would say, the root cause of the imposter syndrome is at some point, sometime, you took on the belief that good things like this only come once in a blue moon. That you are good enough, but you're not good enough to reach this next capability. It is a sort of deep unworthiness that we all have. I have zero judgment on this because kettle calling the pot black over here, house call coming from inside the house. We all deal with this, right? You're not alone. You're not alone, but it is deep. So this feels like this is the cornerstone, the root cause, the very, very deepest recess of your mind, you have this deep unworthiness that's causing the imposter syndrome. And there are the different parts of you that have been trying to reach this next level, been trying to continue to grow. And every time you get there, something happens. Maybe a life event happens, or you start feeling just the discomfort, like, oh my God, this is really uncomfortable. I don't know if I can do this. And instead of taking that next step as the lioness of who you truly are, you take a step back. Instead of pushing past that one boundary that says, this isn't okay, it isn't safe, your imposter syndrome kicks in and says, you would never be the sunshine. You will never be the light. You should always stay small. Being small is safe. And it probably feels safe for a little bit for your inner child. It probably does feel safe for a little bit, except for you're this. The star, the Queen of Cups, the King of Wands. You're an incredible human being. Your imposter syndrome is lying to you about being an incredible human being. You have an exceptional way of shining love into the world. And there may be points and times when you can glimmer and see that and recognize it and appreciate it. But it's almost like you can only do that while the chips are down. As soon as the chips go up, you're like, I don't deserve to shine this brightly and have everything work out for me. That is the imposter syndrome. The truth is, when you start to feel big emotions, when you start to feel discomfort, when you start to take steps towards that bigger dream, instead of believing the lie that the imposter syndrome has, look at the star, the Queen of Cups, the King of Wands. Take 6 steps more. When you're uncomfortable, just take 6 steps more. Be like, okay, the next 6 steps look like this. And as you fumble the first one and you are like, oh, I don't know. Just remember, well, I only have a couple more steps to take. I only have to be discomfort for a little bit more. And it will get you past the imposter syndrome. So say you wanted to go out and you were like, I want to do a speaking gig. So you get your list for who you're going to contact, and then you sit down to call, you get ready to go into places, and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, I don't know, I'm feeling pretty nervous, I don't know about this. I want you just to remember, okay, just take the next step. So you make your first 5 phone calls, your first 10 phone calls, you go into a couple of places and you show up relaxed, offer who you are, let yourself fumble through the first couple ones. They're warm-ups. It's okay. It's fine. Move along. And then the next time when you actually get that speaking gig and you're like, oh my God, they booked me and they're going to pay me money, and you're putting a bunch of pressure on yourself and you start feeling comfortable, just remind yourself, hey, I'm going to play and practice with this one. This is my second step, and I'm just going to step out. And the third step is when I'm up on the stage and I'm speaking to people and this is my speaking gig and I have the opportunity to finally show them that I'm here and I have a service for them, and you start feeling uncomfortable, I want you just to remember, okay, just breathe. Remember, there's the lion. I'm the lion. I'm the lion. I'm the lion. I'm the lion. One more step. I only have a couple more steps to go. I'm just going to do one more step, which is share my services with people. And it will feel awkward. And it will feel weird, and you'll be scared, maybe terrified of being rejected, and it'll be okay. You'll live through it. It'll be fine. You'll get used to it. So that's your third step. So just coach yourself step by step. Hey, I only have to do 6 steps. Every time I feel uncomfortable, I just need to push a little past, because what you're showing is that the adult you, the brilliant you, the soul you, the you that you know in your core of your being who you truly are, is giving the experience to the inner child you that, hey, I am badass enough. I can protect you. I can take care of you. I will take care of you. And I can do things that are uncomfortable and outside of my boundaries, outside of my comfort level, I should say. And I can take just 6 steps. Because anybody can live through that. You can live through all of it. And soon you'll get acclimated to it. And then you get to realize and remember, you don't have to be small when you have good things. You don't have to shrink yourself when things start really working out for you. You can be brilliant, you can shine, and you can enjoy all of the things. They want to tell me the glamour. That's what they're saying. The glamour and the fame. You can enjoy the glamour. You can enjoy yourself. You're not going to turn into a bad human being by being successful. You are always meant to succeed. You are always meant to share your gifts with the world. So you can go do that. Okay, pile number 1. This is how your imposter syndrome is lying to you. If you like this message, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. Join me on Saturday, the 15th of March for an hour of live Q&A. I will be live with you. You can answer questions. I'll throw some cards. We'll talk about some spiritual topics. You can find it over on my Patreon, so visit me over there. And until next time, pile number 1, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Pile number 2. All right. This is, how is your imposter syndrome lying to you? Pile number 2, your imposter syndrome resides in your solar plexus. And we see that over here in the fairy woman card, which is really connected and tied to the solar plexus. Pile number 2, your imposter syndrome is lying to you by telling you that your feminine nature, that the qualities that are divinely considered feminine in our society is not enough for you to be successful, to be happy, to be empowered. Pile number 2, up here we see that you've spent so much time internalizing and being a very inward person. And a part of this has been developing these incredible intuitive abilities, this incredible third eye skill. Pile number 2, you are being called and asked to move beyond what your imposter syndrome says, which is you're not psychic, you're not special, you have no other worldly capabilities. And I really consider psychic abilities, any of the clairs, as just these innate extensions of who we are. We have taste, we have sight, we have hearing, and you can develop the rest of these senses as well. Every single human is capable and able to do that. And you have done that. You are that. You do embody that. Your imposter syndrome wants to tell you and is lying to you by saying, no, those messages that you're getting late at night are not true. Those feelings that you're getting during the day are not true. It's all made up. It's all in your head. It's all BS. There's no way someone like you, as plain as you are, could ever be this competent in these areas. And that's the lie. That's the lie. Because you actually are. You have put so much time and dedication into developing the kind of skills that you are, there's so much more open to you than what you are fully aware of or allow yourself to believe, largely because this imposter syndrome. So you're invited. I mean, look, your storyline here is anchored in, is bookended with vibrant, sunny yellow. Your solar plexus, when you want to get past your imposter syndrome, that is the area to go into. That is the area to work with, to deep dive, to really get to know. It's almost like we have this triangle going on. Oh, I love that. So we have the koi fish that's yellow. And look, we have this triangle that comes down. That is a divine feminine triangle. And we've got the divine feminine presence. You are bringing back the light of the divine, they're calling it the divine nature of God, the presence, the purity, the light, the bright, the goldenness that comes with Shakti energy, that comes with the energy of life itself that courses through all of us. You've gotten to this place because you just went through some really hard stuff. You went through some really, really hard stuff. We see over here in the take time out to breathe and the end of a tough cycle. First, I want you to note that the end of the tough cycle is looking at the take time out to breathe, which to me says the major heartbreak they're showing me like rubble and rock, the major heartbreak, the rubbles and rock, the tower moment of your life, these really tough things that you have been dealing with. It is coming to a completion. It is softening. It is lightening up. You do have this ability to start to find stability again, find healing again. This hurts over here. When I look at this, I feel hurt in my heart. Like, damn, my friend, damn, I'm so sorry. And through this rubble, you have been forced to go inside. And that forcing this, it's like they're showing me this is like as a conflict with the masculine energy. And that may be the masculine energy of that literal men in your life, or the government, or it may be the masculine energy that you've had inside of yourself. But it's like we have this duality, this play going on between turning over the toxic masculinity that lives within our cultures and our belief systems and religious systems to bring back the nurturing light of the divine feminine. And so they really want you to own your psychic space. They really want you to own your third eye skills. They want you to own your spiritual mastery as a divine feminine being. Regardless of what body you're in, you are holding creation energy in you. You're holding this ability to pick up on the nuances of life, to pick up on the ethereal, the subtle, the undercurrent, right? Like, we're so focused on all of this exterior actions and all this stuff, but you've been leaning into and learning how to work with the softer, more subtle, and also extremely powerful energies in life. If you think about how creation comes into manifestation, first it's an intention, then it's in your mind and emotional state, right? And then it goes out into the physical world. Everybody's focused on the physical. You're back here on the intuition level, rocking it out. So rock it out. Don't let your imposter syndrome tell you that the experiences that you have are not true. If you feel the truth in your body, it is the truth for you. And it is the truth of what you are experiencing and seeing. And that's completely okay. You have a highway lane line to spirit itself. You are like an oracle, right? Like, you're one of those special people in the world that is just like, I call it a highway lane because they're showing me just like this giant beam of spiritual energy and light coming down to you. Like, you're a direct conduit to spirit. So own that. Enjoy that. Stop doubting that. Set up your feedback loop so that you can test it, right? Like, I have a bunch of that, and that's how I've developed my intuition pretty profoundly, is saying, I have this thing. Okay, mentally noted. And then seeing if it plays out in life. Seeing if I get that feedback that, yeah, that was what I thought it was. Yep, that person turned out to be the kind of person I thought they were. Yep, those were the underlying messages and issues and things going on with them. And if you're an oracle reader, I'm really into oracle right now. If you're really into that side of life, then just know that you need to work with people to get those feedback loops. You need to watch for some reason, they're showing me like an oracle of what is happening on the globe, right? Like, that you can see. It's not necessarily prophetic, but it's like you can see the different timelines that are potential, or you can see the trends that are going to happen. This feels like this could also be my neuro spicy group. Like, you're really good at that. So own it. Stop believing that you aren't, because you are. You're amazing and fantastic, and we need you. We need your gifts. Please share your gifts with the world. We need them. Okay, pile number 2. This is, how is your imposter syndrome lying to you? If you like this reading, don't forget to click the likes button and subscribe. And join me on March 15th over at my Patreon, where I'm going to be doing a live with you all over on Zoom. We'll talk about some spiritual concepts. We'll throw some cards. We'll laugh. We hopefully won't cry, but you never know. It's an open platform. And until next time, pile number 2, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Pile number 3. All right, this is how your imposter syndrome is lying to you. Pile number 3. The whole underlying energy that you're reading is giving me is one where it feels cloudy. Like, even if you had roads before you, you say you had like 2 or 3, 4, 5 paths before you, nothing seems clear, and it's like you can't ever get what you want. It's like every single path has a different piece of what you want, but you're never allowed to have it all just match into one path that's clear that you can step forward on. Pile number 3, your imposter syndrome is deeply rooted in a kind of wounding. So this card represents maternal wounding of not being listened to, have enough care, having your emotional needs met, very possibly not having your physical needs met, your mental needs met. And it's left you with this kind of imposter syndrome that clouds your life. It's cloudy. It feels foggy. It's like you want to charge forward, you want to go ahead, you want to have this bright new beginning, but then these wishy-washy feelings crash over you, and you're like, well, if I do this, then that won't happen, or if I have this, then I lose out on that. I can never just, nothing's ever perfect. I can never just have everything I want. And pile number 3, that's a really tough place to be coming from, by the way. So your imposter syndrome is very emotional. It really gets you with these it's like this color. It's like this. It's like this card. So it's dark. It's swishy. It's swashy. It sort of crashes over you in waves of emotion that tell you you're not good enough. You're not good enough, and you will never get what you want fully. You're going to always have to sacrifice something important for you to get something else that's important to you. And pile number 3, ow, ow, man. So the porcupine, right? Like it hurts. That's a tough one. It's not grief. It could be depression. That could be a very depressed sort of, I don't have a better word for it, but Eeyore energy, right? Pile number 3, I keep wanting to call you pile number 1, which is really interesting. So if you were interested in pile number 1, go check that out. This may be a complimentary message to that message, and more in depth. Maybe you have a couple imposter syndromes. So this one is really about, this imposter syndrome tells you that you are not blessed and that you are not favored by the divine and that you can't have what you want. And the reality is you are blessed. The reality is that you can have all of the things that you want, and it doesn't have to cost you. It doesn't have to cost you so deeply. It does have to cost you something, but it doesn't have to cost you so deeply. It doesn't have to be that hard. So really, when you move past your imposter syndrome, when you say, you know what, I am going out and I'm going to the next thing, there is, I keep wanting to use liminal, but there's a limbo space. And I have just been through this in my life, so I'm very familiar with the energy of it. There is the old you, there is the brand new shiny you that is your goal you, and then there is the space in between those two where you are a mixture. If you were to look at yourself like a mixture of liquids, you're some from the past and some from the future. And every day those liquid variations change, right? Every day you become a little less like your past self, and every day you become a little more like your future self. Step by step, little bits by little bits. And you do that by making every getting everything in your life as close as you can, as directionally accurate as you can, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not the exact thing, to match closer to what your life is, to show yourself in your environment, I am taking actions to my dreams. You can crush your imposter syndrome by literally just staying loyal to yourself, to your heart, to listening deeply, 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 deeply to your heart and saying, you're worth every ounce of pain and struggle that I have to overcome in order to honor. Your heart is so pure and so loving and so profoundly beautiful. You're absolutely stunning, that you deserve to have the life that you want. And you deserve to have that life in a way that doesn't make you sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice the things that are important to you. You can have it all. And we see this, you see how they're like trucking on over? It's like all eyes are on your heart. All eyes are following the lead that is your heart. Your heart is showing you exactly what you want. And if you can feel it in your heart, you can have it in your life. And go ahead and put that down on a mantra. If you can feel it in your heart, you can have it in your life, because that means in some way, somehow, some shape, some form, it is real and that is accessible and you can do it. You can really, really have that. Part of having that is stopping believing this lie that you're not blessed. Start telling yourself every day, even at first when you don't believe it, it's like, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed. And then you're going to have those little moments where something nice happens, right? And then you'll be like, I am blessed. And it's going to hit that moment of, no, that's true. That's true. I am blessed. Like, look at this good thing that just happened to me. And then, your life carries on and it's doing its thing. And then you have another moment because you're saying, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. You have another moment and bam, something good happens. And you say, I'm so blessed. But now not one thing good has happened. Two things good have happened. And so now your whole focus is to get your nervous system to be okay feeling the discomfort that happens when you can have everything that you want. Because that's what happens, right? The imposter syndrome starts feeling the discomfort in your nervous system, and it says, warning, red light, red light, red light, time to shrink, time to shrink. Let me go ahead and crash waves of depression and anxiety and unworthiness over you. Let me drown you in those feelings so I can bring you back down. So your role in that is to say, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. And then when you start to feel the uncomfortability of, oh my God, I can have what I want. Now you need to do your EFT tapping, right? Now you need to work with your nervous system. Now you need to calm yourself and remind yourself, it is safe and it is okay for me to have everything that I want. It is safe and it is okay for me to be blessed. It is safe and it is okay for me to have everything that my heart desires. And that kind of a practice will kick this imposter syndrome's butt. It really will. Because a part of you is just addicted to your body, right? A part of your mind, a part of the setting and the software. It's just addicted to a certain setting. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing more you need to clear out or to do. You just need to remember that you are blessed, and then you need to help your nervous system feel safe. You need to help your subconscious mind feel safe. It is safe for me to have everything that I want. It is safe for me to have my heart's desire. If my heart desires it, it's a safe desire to have. Excuse me. Oh. Pile number 3. I just want to give you a big hug and just hammer home the importance of nervous system care in the process of personal growth and of holding larger spaces. You clearly have some just incredible energy, and you deserve the best. You deserve to have your dreams. You deserve to have things come to fruition, and that's an accessible way to do it. Believe that you are blessed. Take care of your nervous system to help you hold this bigger energy and really honor who you are in the space of becoming who you were and who you are becoming. this person right here is just as lovable, is just as incredible, and as a person you will be talking about nonstop when you get to here. You're like, yeah, I got here. Do you want to, you want me to tell you my story? Like, that's such a special thing to have. So pile number 3, if you like this reading, please give it a like and subscribe, and don't forget I guess to like and subscribe, and join me over on Patreon on a Zoom call March 15th. If you want to hang out for an hour, we're going to throw some cards, talk about some spiritual concepts, and answer any questions that you may have. So if you'd like some one-on-one time with me in a group setting, check that out over on Patreon. Until next time, pile number 3, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.